I'm proposing to stand, if you'll have me, in the general elections because I think we need a Green candidate, because I think we need an alternative voice setting out what the Green alternative is in all elections, not just local elections. I've stood before, most recently retained our deposit, but I think with your support here, we are a different party than we were 5 years ago, 2 years ago, even 1 year ago, and I think we've now got some real traction locally, an opportunity to have an impact talking about the national issues as well as talking about the local issues. On the local side, there are 32 councillors in the area of this parliamentary constituency. Of those, 15 are Conservative. The highest number of opposition is Green with 8. So we do have a significant representation in the constituency at the local level. The challenge is to raise our game and say that we can make that case at the national election too. Why is that possible? Well, go back to 2010, which is the general election where we went to the current government. At that point, there was no Greens elected locally. And people might ask, why would you vote Green rather than Labour or Lib Dem to have an alternative for Conservatives locally? Because at that point, there were no Greens. But people chose to vote Green, and in voting Green, they got something different, and they've liked it. And why do we need it nationally? I think we need, firstly, to be honest in politics. We need to not speak party political sound bites, but speak truth to power. That is the Green Party slogan nationally, and I really do believe it. I think it's an honest approach to politics, and I think that's what we need. Secondly, we need to confront the agenda of growth. We've got a growth in inequality, we've got a growth in climate emergency, climate breakdown, and we've got a growth in overall material and energy use. And wherever you look in the economy, growth is driving one of those three things, or a combination of them. We need to move away from that. And all the other main parties support a business as usual, supporting a corporate status quo, if you like, with a few tweaks around the edges, but basically everything will stay the same. The ship will stay in the same course towards that almost uncertain future which has driven me into politics in the first place. And it's that business as usual we need to challenge. We've had a budget today which was called a budget primarily about law and order. But why have we got a priority of law and order from the Conservatives? Is it because law and order has broken down because of the way they managed the COVID pandemic? That they broke the standards themselves? And since then, minor outbreaks of law and order, from parking on a yellow line outside McDonald's to believing, as someone said to me recently, it's okay, I haven't broken the law because I haven't been arrested by the police. So if society is breaking down to that much, that the government itself brings a law and order agenda, then where are we? And then we look at the agenda for climate change. Let's get to zero by 2050, but we could have we exceeded the safe climate of 1.5 degrees by the end of this decade. There's a massive gulf between that. And the government is proposing that we will extend licences of oil drilling in the North Sea every single year. But it's done that already. It's done that in Rosebank, which is the largest oil field in the North Sea. Labour say, well, vote for us, let's not have more of the same. But they've said that regardless of who's elected, Labour or Conservative, that massive oil development will go ahead. And it feels like the Labour are tracking the Conservatives in almost every policy imaginable nationally to try to entice Conservative votes to them, rather than provide the real alternative that politics needs. And and that's, I think, ultimately why I think we need an alternative now. We need an alternative to set the case, to make the case, and to give hope to people that rather than fear-mongering, it's us and them, divisive politics. We need a politics that brings everyone together and makes a different, new case. And I believe that there is a possibility now for real change nationally. But if we don't believe in it, then it won't happen. But if we do believe in it, and we stand together and we fight together, we can win. Thank you.